Good morning, golfers. Welcome to Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY, our YouTube and Facebook pages brought to us by BoyneGolf.com. Jerry Coyne is on the phone with an extremely busy Tyler Rae. Tyler, your search engine must have popped up 10 million times over the weekend, all the talk that you were getting from CBS's coverage of Detroit Golf Club. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Yeah, everything's great. It's been a very successful weekend, and we're happy, very happy.
What has happened in agronomy that you can turn around a golf course in 1 year? It used to be, at least 18 months before you could play on golf courses, and that the course looked like it'd been there for years. It was amazing to me.
Yeah, well, we had a great fall, a great growing season. So it was phenomenal. Phenomenal, very dry.
Right.
And obviously we were fortunate we sodded a lot. And that was a double-edged sword because when you sod the greens and approaches, then they're very soft that first year. And we saw no wind first 3 days, very soft greens. It lent itself to some very favorable conditions for the pros, and they obviously tore it up. Normally, if you seed a golf course from scratch, kind of per se, seed the greens, seed the approaches, seed all of that, it's the inverse. It's very hard, rock hard the first year, and they really struggle. So that was the only thing when you turn it around so quickly up in Michigan in the north. We had to sod everything a little softer when we wanted, but that also helped us turn it around so quickly. So, some things you have to sacrifice, and that was one of the sacrifices, and that's okay.
The fescue grew in very quickly as well. I was on the redo that Gil did at Oakland Hills a couple years ago, and they were waiting for a lot of the fescue to grow in that first year. It seems you are well ahead of the curve on that.
Yes, Sam Moynihan, the director of grounds, superintendent, was phenomenal. We seeded and sodded that very early. We made a commitment to really get that stuff in the ground by August. So then we would be set up for success. Sometimes on golf projects, you do the greens, the bunkers, the tees, the fairways, and then you kind of get to the peripheral areas and the fescue last, and then it sort of doesn't come in for a couple years, and it looks ratty and very weedy, weed infestation. Right. We made it a priority because we knew, look, we're going to be on TV. We've got to make this stuff look good. So we actually hit that pretty early. So we prioritized our spots, and then we had a wet spring. So it was funny. We had a really dry summer and fall of 25, and then we had a really wet spring, cold, in Michigan, which all about. Not a lot of golf this spring. No. And but that somehow allowed it to grow in pretty well, and by June we were shocked at how amazing all these areas looked.
Yeah, I have to 100% agree. It was incredible. So a lot of good planning and a lot of good fortune, I guess, to make a course in 1 year such a dramatic change. As I texted you a few times, I was a young player at DGC. My grandfather was a member at DGC. So it's been in our family for a long time. I want to applaud you. You took out a significant amount of trees, but you left a lot of trees in some important places instead of just cutting them all down. I know this was a Donald Ross redo, which is kind of what you've been doing a lot of those. It's kind of its own market niche, isn't it?
Yes, for sure. And Jerry, what you mentioned with trees, we were very cognizant that this is a parkland golf course. It wasn't. You look back at the old photos, there were a lot of trees, and so when we look at courses and they were old farms back in the 20s and things of that nature, we try to open it up a little bit, and let the wind blow. But DGC, I mean, it was heavily wooded, and on Ross's October 1914 plan, there were a lot of trees, and it was a parkland layout. And so we said, look, let's not change the game here. I don't want to put Tyler Rae's name on this thing and put my stamp on it. This is all about Donald Ross. It's all about the look, and it's a parkland layout. And the pros talked about that so much. They said, Tyler, like Ricky was like, man, I actually thought you were going to come in and make this Philly Cricket Club where all the trees were gone, where,
right.
Rory at Philly Cricket, he said, oh, it doesn't matter. You just bang it anywhere. You hit it all in the other fairways. And he really roasted Philly Cricket. And I thought that was a little unfair because I'm a big fan of Keith Foster, who did the work there. I'm a big fan of Philly Cricket, big fan of Dan Mearsman and everybody there. And I just thought, okay, that was a tough take. But luckily the guys, the pros, Wyndham and Ricky and, pretty much everyone I talked to, they said, hey man, you left the trees.
Yep.
Thank you. That's what they were really saying. It's just like, thank you for not ruining it. So that was cool.
Yeah, I agree. It's a dual-edged sword right now. And you know what? Just on passing, Rory roasted the club, and then he was not even in contention. He kept getting into trouble without the trees. So, there's be careful what you wish for. But
right.
But they did do a renovation at Oak Hill, and they left a significant amount of trees. They took out a lot of trees. And I've been talking on this program for a couple of years because I spent a lot of time at Oakland Hills. I thought Gil took out way too many trees there. And it's just, I know you're going back to pictures from, 1910, 1912 or whatever, when Donald Ross was working. But, some of those trees need to stay just for point of reference where dog legs are and those type of things. And I've had this discussion with Ray Hearn a lot. And I don't know how you guys figure that math all out.
Yeah, well, you have to look at everything. I mean, we looked at every single tree on the property and give it a discerning eye, and you have to make a decision. And we didn't want it to, obviously we didn't want to cut down too many things and open up sight lines. And the guys, they're so talented. They hit it so far. And for the membership too. This is a members first golf course. Like you said, your grandfather, your father, members there, and you've played so much golf there in your lifetime. We didn't want it to be unrecognizable, and we wanted it to be, faithful and still look the same. And I just didn't want to have too heavy of a hand where people kind of said, wow, Tyler came in here and, oh, everything's great, but the trees, we didn't want that,
Since Tyler was driving from Detroit Golf Club to Philadelphia for an event, we couldn't put a natural break like we normally do during the interview. So we will be back after these words from our fine partners on Finding Fairways on Up North Sports Radio and continue our discussion with Tyler Rae and his burgeoning golf architecture business.
Imagine your ultimate golf experience. There's a good chance it's Michigan's Magnificent 11. 11 spectacular courses from Boyne Golf, varied in both topography and play. Boyne Golf was named the #1 best golf destination in USA Today Reader's Choice 2025. And the Highlands at Harbor Springs is the #2 golf resort in that same USA Today poll. The ultimate golf experience. That's Michigan's Magnificent 11.
There's a moment on the course when everything lines up. The swing, the contact, the result. That's how we approach real estate. At Dean Bach & Company and at Properties, Christie's International Real Estate Collective, we don't guess, we execute. From Traverse City to Harbor Springs, we cover Michigan's Gold Coast with strategy, reach, and relationships that win. Whether it's a lakefront estate, a Gulf side retreat, or your next move, we put you in position to score.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of northern Michigan's finest golf courses and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape every day. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort. Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
Quit wasting time putting around and meet us at Wild Bluff Golf Course in Brimley, Michigan. Wild Bluff is a championship golf course with breathtaking views overlooking Lake Superior, with a full-length driving range, chipping area, and large putting green. Visit our fully stocked pro shop for featured golf apparel and equipment, or come to the loft to wine and dine like a pro. Like us on Facebook or visit baymillscasinos.com for more information. Your fairway to heaven starts here.
Welcome back to Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY, brought to us by BoyneGolf.com. Let's get back to the interview I had on Monday with Tyler Rae, who just completed a beautiful renovation of Detroit Golf Club and Beverly Country Club in Chicago that just hosted the Western Amateur. The changes that you made, number 3 is a brand new hole, right?
Right. That, I think, we were actually talking about that yesterday. Somebody said, what are you most proud of? And I said, I actually think, members hole number 1, tour
right.
number 3. I think that was probably the best change. Michael Brennan came up to me and Davis Riley both and said, man, this hole, it's not long,
right,
but it's really cool, and the green's phenomenal. So both, shook my hand, and we talked about number 3, and they were so kind. That was really fun to hear.
Yeah, because number 2 became number 4. You moved those first few holes around. I know that 1 has always been challenging because it's so short, and it really is hard to protect that golf hole from the pros, especially even from the members. I mean, that's, generally speaking, a drive and a wedge. But you did the green looked a little different there. And then not too many changes on the back other than like 14 filling in the creek there.
Yep.
And some of the green complexes, just phenomenal work. I got to apply. I can't wait to get out there and actually play it. I'm hoping to do that in the next week or 2.
Thank you. Yeah. The greens have a lot of flavor. They're not over the top. They're not flat. I feel like it's the best set of greens we've ever built. We were really, really on our game, and our team was phenomenal. Jim Ryan Jr., Tim Lewis, Tim Furness, Matt Fauerbach, Sean Raridan. My guys, we put our heart and soul into those greens and bunkers, and, I think it really showed.
And, the funny thing is, so you had Rocket Mortgage at DGC this past week, and then you redid Beverly Country Club, which just hosted the Western Am, right?
Right. It was a big week.
Yeah.
Big week, for amateur and pro golf for us. So that was fun. And and the AMs loved it. And it was really, really, I had a ton of really great positive feedback there as well. So that was home run.
Yeah, I saw some of the photos. Now, I've never played that, but that is a Ross favorite to a lot of members out there in Illinois. And seeing the photographs on your website, I really like the way you raised the bunkers or the greens up just a little bit above the bunkering, kind of a different look. What was the scoring like for the amateurs there?
Well, again, they got a lot of rain as well, and they had, rain delays on Saturday and things of that nature. But the young guys, they hit it so far. It's over 7,000 yards, but they hit it so far. I think the young guys just tore it up. Tore it up with 5-6 birdies around, which is fine. But they're so good. This young generation, I grew up obviously in the late 90s and 2000s playing junior golf. And I went to school in 2003, 2004. And these guys, 23 or 4 years later, it's a different game. I mean, they are so good.
It's nuts.
They hit it so far. They hit it so straight. The ball doesn't really curve. They're fit. They're all really fit. They're all working out. They're all running. Oh man. I mean, the game is incredible. So it's fun to see. I was rooting for some of the older guys, like, probably like Stu Hagestad, some of those guys, but
Yeah, the
he didn't
guys that
make
are
the Sweet
professional.
16.
Yeah,
Yeah,
longtime amateurs.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But it was tough for them.
So
So
talk briefly, Tyler. Did you played golf in Kentucky?
I did fleetingly. They were so
Okay.
good. I went to the wrong college probably because we were top 3 in the NCAA. We won the SECs my freshman year. We should have
Wow.
won the NCAAs my freshman year. They were so good, JB Holmes and guys like that on the team.
Oh boy, yeah,
I
great
I
group
should
of
have
guys. Yeah.
I should have stayed more, East Coast and went somewhere like Princeton or UVA or something like that. But I went to the SEC thinking I could play golf, and then I realized what real golf was. So,
And was it always your life's calling to get into golf architecture?
from 18 onward, so for the last
Okay.
25 years now, yeah. We always want to try to be a pro, or you want to play at a high level, but then you realize you go, holy smokes, when you play at that highest level and you see the JB Holmes and you see the other guys like Ryan Moore was my year, Webb Simpson, he's
Oh
like
boy.
7 days younger than me.
Okay.
Chris Kirk, who I was linking up with it at DGC. We had Billy Horschel, and then Brian Harmon,
Right.
the
That's
guys
a
who
lot
were
of
like
great players.
40 to
Yeah.
43. Those guys were all the top juniors in my day. And I remember Ryan Moore was almost untouchable. And JB was right there with those guys. And I saw that level. I remember Brian Harmon. I mean, he'd miss almost every green. He'd get up and down or almost hole out every time. He had the best short game I ever saw.
Right.
And, so these guys, they just were so good. And so I realized that at about 18 or 19, I said, you know what? I'm not going to be a pro. Let's go into golf architecture. I love the creative side of it. I love the artistry. And so I moved quickly and pivoted quickly.
Tyler, do you have a couple more minutes?
Yeah, I got about 2 more minutes. I'm sitting here in a parking lot of another club going
Okay,
to
never mind.
meetings,
That's fine.
but that's okay.
No. I didn't know if you had like another 8 minutes, but that's fine. Let me ask you one last question then. What prompted you to get into the Donald Ross restoration business? I know you're doing some new builds, which I'd love to talk to you about sometime, but what was it obviously Ross, one of the great architects of all time, and a lot of people are restoring his courses. What drew you to that?
Well, they're timeless. His routings are really, really thoughtful. There's so many of them. There's so many that are strong, meaning bold layouts, beautiful greens. They're just timeless. And so I gravitated towards his work. Growing up in Philadelphia too, I caddied at Aronimink, and I just love Donald Ross, and I love William Flynn as well, Seth Rayner. Those are my kind of
Rayner,
top
right.
3. I'm sitting at a Flynn right now that I just pulled into outside Philadelphia, and we're doing a master plan. And but yeah, mostly probably 70% of my work is Ross, and then the other 30 or 40% is Rayner and Flynn.
Tyler Rae, thank you so much. I know you had the busiest of schedules, and we really appreciate you taking the time here. I hope to get you on before the end of the golf season one more time. I got some questions that are burning in my brain, but I'll take what I can get from one of the busiest architects in the business.
Oh, thanks, Jerry. Yeah, it's just August, our busiest 2 months of the year, July and August, with construction, and we've got a couple jobs going in the dirt right now. So you catch us a little later in the year, by November, we're free agents. We're very, we don't have too much going on. We're playing a little bit of golf. We're going down to Florida, stuff like that. But boy, I tell you, June, July, August, September is just, bonkers. And then put in, the tour stuff with Detroit and then Beverly and some of these big events. We had the Principal Charity Classic at Wakanda, in June. And so we've been trying to go to these tour events that are at some of our clubs, which are fun. So it ends up making the schedule a little crazy, but thanks so much for your time. And we love the show, and say hi to Ray Hearn for us. And
I will.
take care. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bud?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate Tyler Rae joining us on Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio, brought to us by Wild Bluff Golf Course at Bay Mills Resort and Casino.
Twin Birch Golf Club in Kalkaska is preparing for a spectacular golf season, and you should too. The Twin Birch Clubhouse restaurant has quickly become a local favorite, with a lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch menu full of classic favorites, made with the freshest ingredients. See all the affordable membership options at twinbirchgolf.com, or save even more when you purchase Twin Birch Golf at qdealsmi.com. qdealsmi.com. See one of Northern Michigan's greatest golf values at twinbirchgolf.com.
Quit wasting time putting around and meet us at Wild Bluff Golf Course in Brimley, Michigan. Wild Bluff is a championship golf course with breathtaking views overlooking Lake Superior, with a full-length driving range, chipping area, and large putting green. Visit our fully stocked pro shop for featured golf apparel and equipment, or come to the loft to wine and dine like a pro. Like us on Facebook or visit baymillscasinos.com for more information. Your fairway to heaven starts here.
Twin Birch Golf Club in Kalkaska is preparing for a spectacular golf season, and you should too. The Twin Birch Clubhouse restaurant has quickly become a local favorite, with a lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch menu full of classic favorites, made with the freshest ingredients. See all the affordable membership options at twinbirchgolf.com, or save even more when you purchase Twin Birch Golf at qdealsmi.com. qdealsmi.com. See one of Northern Michigan's greatest golf values at twinbirchgolf.com.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of Northern Michigan's finest golf courses and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape every day. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort. Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
The Iron Pig on Old 27 South across from Otsego Lake is open for breakfast 7 days a week from 8 to 11. Sundays from 8 to 2 with a sumptuous breakfast buffet on the weekends. With golf season open, Iron Pig has room for any size golf group, or bring our delicious menu and legendary barbecue to your group. Either way, the Iron Pig has the team and location to make your up north dining experience truly memorable. Visit Iron Pig Smokehouse on Facebook, where we are always announcing new events and menu additions.
Finding Fairways here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGI. Brought to us by Boyne Golf and joining from golf, TR Hollis, the newly minted golf marketing director. TR settling into the position quite nicely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just talked about it. It's such a great place to be, and what I inherited is honestly incredible. Just the trajectory of golf, the trajectory of Boyne Golf specifically is so strong. Such a beautiful place to be, beautiful product, and you just can't beat golf this time of year at Boyne.
Yeah, there's so many advantages to your job. Ken told me he was retiring for a few minutes. I'm like, I wonder if I could do that, because on the outside it looks like a great job. I'm sure it's a hell of a lot harder than Ken made it, and now you make it appear, because there's a lot of different aspects that you don't consider. But I did want to thank you so much for texting me last week. James Pyatt winning the Tournament of Champions. James famously a U.S. Amateur winner and a Spartan. I know that makes you happy.
Oh, yeah. Go green.
Yeah. I remember James being up there a couple of years ago. You know, he was just got out of live, really kind of trying to get his golf confidence back. I don't know where he's going to go, but he's a fine player.
He is, and it's interesting seeing those guys just grind it out and try to elevate themselves on the tour, and us to be able to give those opportunities to compete at the highest level is a really cool thing that we do here at Boyne Golf. And to have him here and competing on our courses is pretty cool. So I'm excited to see where he goes.
Yeah, I think that's probably the first time a U.S. amateur winner has won the Tournament of Champions. You could check the record books. I mean, the list is very illustrious, but U.S. Amateur is a little bit more of another level.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. So.
But as Ken and I used to say, even with having such a big tournament out there at the at Boyne Mountain, you still had 9 courses to fill everybody on.
We did, yeah. We have no shortage of courses, which is the greatest thing, and no shortage of terrain. So, like every
Right.
course you play on is different. They're all held to the same consistent standard, but you get to play and see different scenery, play different holes, and the variety is what we really lean into. You'll never have a trip at Boyne Golf be the same, regardless of even if you play the same course. We reinvest in those courses, improve them over time. It really is the daily creme of golf. It is incredible.
Yeah, there's a reason why USA Today ranked Boyne as the 3rd best golf resort in America. I've been to a lot of them. Other than Streamsong and Sand Valley, I've played every single major golf resort in the country. And the only other one that I think you can even compare it to is Pinehurst, because it has the same number of golf courses. And nothing against Pinehurst, but the terrain is all pretty much the same there in those sand hills at Pinehurst. But as you just mentioned, you got some of the courses that have massive elevation drops, others that are great parkland courses, and then, of course, who's got Bay Harbor?
It is. I know. I keep going back. Yeah, it's the Pebble of the Midwest. It's truly one of a kind. Like, we're so lucky to have that in our portfolio.
Yeah. And, on top of that, just the whole experience, TR, all the different lodging options, all the different dining options, and then sitting in, Petoskey Harbor Springs area. You could fly into Traverse City, get there super easily. I mean, there's just, I don't know if there's a hole in the bucket when it comes to Boyne Golf.
Yeah, and it's how easy it is to get here, just end to end, 22 markets flying in direct to Traverse City, easy to get here, easy to get to our courses within a very small radius, our 3 resorts. And then once you get here, to your point, like I talk about golf specifically, and there's a lot to talk about with Boyne Golf, just how great our courses are, the consistency of agronomy, the variety of terrain. But in addition to that, our lodging options, food and beverage, they are top notch. Like, your golf is going to be incredible, but everything else is so good too. Your stay, the cities, you can't beat Petoskey, you can't beat Harbor Springs, you can't beat Boyne City. They're all so unique, such cool lake towns, and your end-to-end experience here at Boyne Golf is just one of one.
And we didn't even mention the great personnel. When I played at the Epson Tour Pro-Am, I had breakfast at the Highlands there, and the staff was just so accommodating, coming by with the coffee. How's your meal? No matter where you step into the pro shop, everybody just has a smile on their face, and they make that experience. It's like up north hospitality, right? On top of great golf.
It is. I know people talk about Southern hospitality, but you got to make a trip up to Northern Michigan. It's truly one of a kind. It is so cool to experience it, and it's like stepping into a different world almost. It's pretty cool.
It is. I miss that living here. When I used to come up, and maybe you have the exact same experience. But when you drive up north, from living downstate, whether you're living in Detroit, Lansing, Grand Rapids, you get to a certain point here and the air is different and the atmosphere is different. That's the one thing I miss about living here full time, is I don't get that release valve when I drive through West Branch.
Exactly. That's, yeah.
And you get up in the morning and you've got golf courses ahead of you, and you don't have to worry about a thing because Boyne's got the whole enchilada covered, whether it's getting your bags to the next course. Every part of the experience is seamless.
It is. No, the team does an incredible job, truly.
Yeah. And I know Joe Charles will watch this, so I don't want to leave out having a world-class golf training facility on top of everything else.
No, it's a good, I know, and it's something, yeah, we definitely need to highlight because it's like our courses are incredible. Our courses, like I keep talking about the variety of terrain, but to your point, just people wanting to learn the game or even enhance. Our academy is incredible. Like Joe and that team, they are top notch. Like every visit that either I schedule or a group comes in, all of them want to have a lesson with Joe or one of our great pros. And everyone leaves with such great things to say and improvements to their game. So
yeah, Dave and JR, the whole team over there is fantastic. And they have like different disciplines. Like, JR is a great players teacher. Joe is so good with kids and women. There are so many women and children running through the golf academy now. I know Joe and the staff there is super proud. I think they've had 4 different players now that have gone to the finals of the drive, chip, and putt, which, he talks about that to me all the time. Did you see Billy out at Augusta? It was amazing, So everything is, I like I said, there's not a hole in the bucket when it comes to Boyne Golf, other than the fact that sometimes it's hard to find a tee time on the weekends.
I know. We're filling up. That's why I keep saying book ahead of time. Like the best trip you will have is one booked ahead of time. So. Yeah, to get those hard to get tee times, weekend tee times, book in advance. But to that point, we have 11 amazing courses. Dune Bray, the short course, backyard at the Highlands. Like truly, it is a incredible one-stop shop to customize your perfect golf experience. So
yeah, there are still some weekends available for lodging and golf in the fall, as we're going to have another great fall golf season here. But I would be remiss if I wouldn't tell our listeners and our viewers that 2027 is already open for booking, and those numbers are looking pretty strong.
They are. Yeah, I would if you're thinking about coming up here in 2027, get ahead of it now. Yeah, BoyneGolf.com. And book your trip now, and the earlier you can book, the better trip you will have. I can confidently say that.
There you go. Well said, TR. BoyneGolf.com for the best golf resort experience you can find. Forget number 3. We know who's number 1.
Exactly. I love it.
All right. That's going to do it for us here on Finding Fairways, as we like to say. Find a fairway of your own, stick a peg in the ground, and pound it down the middle. How about at number 1 at the Moor?
I know. It's yeah, I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. you hit it down the middle on number 1 on the Moor, and you're setting yourself up for a birdie.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, TR. Good. We'll see you next weekend.
Thanks, Jerry. All right, we'll see you.
Imagine your ultimate golf experience. There's a good chance it's Michigan's Magnificent 11. 11 spectacular courses from Boyne Golf, varied in both topography and play. Boyne Golf was named the #1 best golf destination in USA Today Reader's Choice 2025, and the Highlands at Harbor Springs is the #2 golf resort in that same USA Today poll. The ultimate golf experience. That's Michigan's Magnificent 11.
There's a moment on the course when everything lines up. The swing, the contact, the result. That's how we approach real estate. At Dean Bach & Company and at Properties, Christie's International Real Estate Collective, we don't guess, we execute. From Traverse City to Harbor Springs, we cover Michigan's Gold Coast with strategy, reach, and relationships that win. Whether it's a lakefront estate, a Gulf side retreat, or your next move, we put you in position to score.
The Iron Pig on Old 27 South across from Otsego Lake is open for breakfast 7 days a week from 8 to 11. Sundays from 8 to 2 with a sumptuous breakfast buffet on the weekends. With golf season open, Iron Pig has room for any size golf group, or bring our delicious menu and legendary barbecue to your group. Either way, the Iron Pig has the team and location to make your up north dining experience truly memorable. Visit Iron Pig Smokehouse on Facebook, where we are always announcing new events and menu additions.
Quit wasting time putting around and meet us at Wild Bluff Golf Course in Brimley, Michigan. Wild Bluff is a championship golf course with breathtaking views overlooking Lake Superior, with a full-length driving range, chipping area, and large putting green. Visit our fully stocked pro shop for featured golf apparel and equipment, or come to the loft to wine and dine like a pro. Like us on Facebook or visit baymillscasinos.com for more information. Your fairway to heaven starts here.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of northern Michigan's finest golf courses and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape every day. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort. Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
Grandview Golf Club in Kalkaska has set the standard for the best value golf in northern Michigan. Grandview has all the amazing golf vistas you expect in the pricey resorts without the pricey. Incredible season membership rates and ladies and men's leagues are now forming. Visit GrandviewGolfNorth.com to play your new favorite track. The newly renovated clubhouse with full bar and simulators is open and makes Grandview Golf Club an unforgettable golf experience. Call 231-258-3244 to play today. It's time to play the 10th hole at Wild Bluff Golf Course in Brimley, Michigan at Bay Mills Resort and Casino. Go to Bay Mills Casino and check out the new stay and play packages. They have a whole different array of weekend packages, adding spa, adding dinners, the breakfast buffet. It's a great way to round out your golf season by heading up to beautiful northern Michigan in the UP and playing Wild Bluff. Here's number 10 with me and PGA professional Matt Phipps.
So I was asking Matt here, we played from the white tees here at number 10. And I'm like, well, where the hell is the black tee? Well, it's through this ravine over there. What is that, an extra 80 yards?
Closer to 100.
Closer to 100. Beautiful view back there, but yeah, I understand why Matt didn't want to play from that tee box.
Yeah, into this wind today, this would have become a par 5.
That's a man size. Matt continuing to not find fairways here.
Yeah.
You know, that's the name of this program, by the way, Matt.
Good.
But it has kept him from shooting a pretty good score, and I don't know if you're going to be able to hook it into this wind, sir.
Yeah, we're going to give it a shot. See anything on the green here, I'll take.
Looks like another one of those tiny greens with back to front slope.
Yep.
We're on the green here at number 10. Very interesting shape. Little knob back here in the corner. Matt just missed the green a little long, but this looks to be a pretty tough putt, Matt.
Yeah, this one can get away from you. Anything past the hole.
Yeah, it's going to run off.
Especially in the summertime, you'll put it right off the green.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, this is just 5 paces off the front collar on a slope going down. Let's see what Matt can dial up.
Switch gears and head downstate to Harbor Shores Golf Club. They just opened the Wii course that was designed by Colin Montgomery, and boy, did he open that course up with a bang. Here's my conversation with PGA General Manager Joshua Doxater at Harbor Shores. Josh, thanks for joining us again. I had to get in touch with you after the incredible opening of the Wii course. How did you pull that off?
Well, I wish I had something to do with it, to be honest with you. But, you know, ultimately, Colin kind of created his own magic. You know, it was great to have him back in town. He had been here when we started, just building and shaping and things like that, and offered some, from his original design, just some different areas. And we get out there, and myself and a couple others walking the course with him, and he was amazed at how much, well, the way it looks now compared to when he was here last year.
Sure.
Right. And just offering some different thoughts and ideas. And we get to the third hole, and he says, you know what, let me hit a shot. So he puts down a golf ball, hits a shot. It's about a 40-yard hole, I would say, somewhere in that range. It hits like 10 feet short, rolls up, hits right dead center of the flag, goes in the hole. And I mean, like if you see the video, you can see that the response is genuine, right? Like we were unbelievable. Like
he
your
probably
first
hasn't
swing.
had a warm-up shot or anything. He just swings the club and it goes in the hole.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts.
Yeah.
And then, of course we had media out that day, and a little bit later on, he's walking the golf course with them, kind of talking about the design aspects and what he took from Scotland in his youth and things like that. And he gets out to the sixth hole, and I don't know if he was prompted to hit a shot, but that's where he decided to hit a shot. And that one's probably more 50, 60-yard range, and holes that one. So his first two holes he played at the Wii course that he designed, he made back-to-back hole-in-ones, which nobody could write that story.
Nobody could write that story, which prompted me, and I've asked this question a couple of times. I'm sure you've been asked it now too. With the proliferation of short courses, is that a legit hole-in-one?
I get that question all the time. So for me, I have 3 hole-in-ones, on regulation golf courses and one in tournament golf. So
wow, good for you. Congratulations.
For me, it's hard, right? Like because typically if you play a regulation golf course, you're not playing, something that's between 40 or 70 yards, right? You're playing something that's at least about 100 yards up to maybe 220, 230.
Sure.
So, at this point in the game, I would encourage anybody to say, if you make it, consider it a hole-in-one. Like, you know what I mean? Why are we dissecting it like that? Like, you made it. It still counts. It's, is there an asterisk?
Somebody's going to give you a plaque and a ball. So,
Well, and if you're going to buy the drinks, then I'm all for
it. So talk a little bit about the Wii course. It's how many holes? Is it a traditional 9?
It is. So it's there's a 9-hole. The Wii course is 9 holes, anywhere from 30 to 70 yards. Total yardage, if you play it all the way back, is about 500 yards.
Okay.
And then we also have an 18-hole Highlands Green putting course. That's about 16,000 square feet. And it's absolutely pure. And it's not, you see a lot of these putting courses that have like the Himalayan kind of concept.
Yeah.
This one is not built like that. This is more gentle, subtle breaks. Something you typically don't see at Harbor Shores because we're known for greens that have crazy types of breaks.
There are a few greens that got some elephant humps, that's for sure.
Yes. So, and don't get me wrong too, when we designed the Wii course with Colin, we wanted to keep, some of those attributes that we're known for in the Wii course project. So there's multiple holes or greens, I should say, on the Wii course that are at smaller scale to size that we have in the big course at Harbor Shores. So like the 7th hole on the Wii course is reminiscent of the 10th hole at Harbor Shores where Jack made the putt on Johnny Miller.
The 3 levels, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a 10th of the size, right? So it makes like that pin location when it's up top, you got to hit a great golf shot from 60 yards to get anywhere close to that hole location. So it's really fun, and it's one of those things. Since we've opened it and after Colin came through, we've just seen the momentum continue to build and build and build, and seeing so many kids and grandparents and grandchildren and things like that. Like it's insane.
Yeah, what does it take, an hour to play? I mean,
not even. I mean, 45 minutes at the most, and we actually have a record board with all these different records. I think the fastest round recorded was it was just under 4 minutes. It was 3 minutes and 56 seconds and whatever.
Play all 9 holes?
Play all 9 holes. Yep.
What did he have? 9 aces?
No, I mean, so what's funny is, so my son Duke set the record, and he's 11, but he's
Okay.
fast, soccer
He's
player,
fast.
and he's a good player. And the previous record was, I think, 416 or 406 or something like that. And he said, "You know what? I can beat that." I said, "Okay, well, go ahead."
Okay,
So
do it, man.
so as soon as he took that first swing, the stopwatch started. He took off, and he made an ace on 6. He did make a hole out, which helps that process.
Yeah.
And he finished at 358. Like, I think it was 358.06, and then someone just beat it at 356 something. So now he's really, really irritated, and he's like, "Well, I got to get that bag." So it's just fun to watch that.
Fantastic. I love it. Is it lit up? You can play after dark?
Yeah, absolutely. It's lit up. There's music. There's, we have speakers on all the light surrounds and things like that.
You got a
11 to
little
11
cocktail
every
area?
day. Oh yeah.
Cocktail
So,
area? Yeah.
yeah, Monty's Place is what it's called.
Yeah.
The signature drink is the half Monty, and it's kind of a gin inspired drink that Monty helped us with, and you got to see the can because it's crazy, because it's like a caricature of Monty. And he loved it, and things like that. But if you want the full Monty, we'll add another shot of gin in the drink, and you can go from there.
Well, I know that you have to have one right now. Now you play the week course. You got to have at least the half Monty, if not the full Monty.
100%.
That we had to open up with that because it's a great story. But I mean, the Harbor Shores golf course designed by Jack Nicklaus is setting records, and it looks like you're going to have a great finish to the summer and the fall. I got to imagine weekends are getting harder and harder by the day to book out, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, well, of course, we have quite a few partners that we deal with. Locally with hotels and things like that, whether it's from South Bend or, New Buffalo and things like that. And they're trying to book a couple months out on a Friday, Saturday, even Thursday, and we don't have anything open till 5 o'clock in the evening.
Wow.
So, it definitely, we're seeing that growth, and our focus has been just more reach and just really focusing on the markets that we know will come and support, like Chicago, like South Bend, like Grand Rapids, like Detroit,
Yep.
And really making sure that people know, where Harbor Shores is when you're on your way up north, because that's where everybody ultimately wants to go, right? They want to go up to Arcadia, they want to go up to Boyne, they want to go up and play these other tracks. So, we're the best stop you can make on your way up.
No doubt about it. I tell everybody how exciting it is to play the golf course. Like I told you, it's not a golf course, it's an adventure. Every single hole is an experience unto itself. There's no holes that are similar to each other on the entire golf course. And we're looking forward to coming in there on the fall and playing. The guys that I'm bringing are totally excited. You met or your assistant met my guys from Georgia, and they just could not believe how great the golf course was. So, everyone that plays it has a superlative story, and that's why the growth is so big.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, there's no hole that's the same. And you played a lot of golf. I played a lot of golf. There's some golf courses that have big names, but you feel like you're playing the same hole 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
Condition. There's a lot to condition, and don't get me wrong, which we're in great shape, and there's that's part of it. But when you're getting different views on every shot and every hole, and every tee box, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, there's no two shots that are exactly the same, no matter what. Even your pitches, like you talk about, pitching on to number 10 is an adventure into itself, and it's the only golf course I know that you go by 2 bars right in the middle of your round on the back 9.
Sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's
it's like you said, it's an experience. It's not a golf course. It's an experience. It's something we embrace, and we want to make sure everybody who steps foot on property understands, how this all came together. It was a great project, and we're just adding to that with the week course.
Yeah, benefiting a lot of charities in the St. Joe and Benton Harbor area. Josh, how do people book out? Do you have a set closing date?
So we don't have a set closing date, but when we close, we're not reopening. So
Right.
basically, typically the first week of November, we'll blow out irrigation, kind of get everything ready for the winter. And typically within, I would say 10 to 14 days after that is when, first kind of really deep freeze starts to come in, and then we shut her down. But I think we've gone as far as up to Thanksgiving week. But again and again, we definitely have a hard open date, but that close date is just dependent upon the weather. And Southwest Michigan, it can give you some great weather late in the season.
Or you can get some awful weather. We played in it that one day. The first time you had me out to the golf course was the toughest conditions I've ever played around a golf in. So,
okay.
And it was still
we're
a joy. It was fantastic. Josh,
Well, I think
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, when you come back in the fall, we'll pull the strings. We'll make sure you have a little bit better weather, and you'll hopefully have a lot more opportunities at making some birdies, and we'll make sure you're full Monties.
Yes, we will have some full Monties. You know what? I've made one birdie so far this year, so you got your work cut out for you.
Okay.
Josh Dockstader from Harbor Shores Golf Club. Thank you, Dockstader from Harbor Shores Golf Club. Thanks for joining us on Finding Fairways and being such a gracious host. And I can't wait to play the week course.
Yeah, if you want to come out and play, go to harborshoresresort.com. All the information you need is there. If you want to book villas, it's all there as well. So we look forward to seeing everybody out there.
All right. Thank you, Josh. And I love the name Duke Dockstader.
Just remember it, because he's getting pretty good now.
Thank you, partner.
Thank you.
All right.
Imagine your ultimate golf experience. There's a good chance it's Michigan's Magnificent 11. 11 spectacular courses from Boyne Golf, varied in both topography and play. Boyne Golf was named the #1 best golf destination in USA Today Reader's Choice 2025. And the Highlands at Harbor Springs is the #2 golf resort in that same USA Today poll. The ultimate golf experience. That's Michigan's Magnificent 11.